Hello everyone, so in this video we will talk about pollination and the different types of pollinating agents. Now first of all, what is pollination? So pollination is transfer of pollen from anther of one flower to stigma of another flower, or can be from anther of one flower to stigma of the same flower. Okay, so it's of different types. So based on these we can say that pollination can be self-pollination or it can be cross-pollination. So basically what is pollination? It is transfer of pollen. Please make notes along with me. Transfer of pollen from anther to stigma. Now this anther and stigma can be present on the same flower or they can be present on the different flowers. Okay. Now based on this we can say that pollination is of two types. Pollination is of two types. The first category is called self-pollination. Okay, self-pollination. And the second one is called cross-pollination. Cross-pollination. Self-pollination and cross-pollination. Now what is self-pollination? Now if the transfer takes place in the same plant. That means if the transfer of pollen grains occurs from anther to stigma of the same plant, then that kind of pollination is called self-pollination. Okay, now it is of two types once again. Self-pollination is of two types. I can say that the first type is, it is called autogamy. Okay, autogamy. And the second type is called jejunogamy. Autogamy and jejunogamy. Okay, now what is autogamy and what is jejunogamy? Now when suppose there is a plant, suppose this is a plant and in this we have two flowers like this and this. Okay, so this is a single plant in which there are two different flowers. Suppose this is the first flower, this is the second flower, and this is a male flower. Okay, it contains stamen, and this flower contains the female part. Okay, so a plant can contain different flowers. A single plant can have a male flower and a female flower. Like in this case, this flower is the male flower and this flower is the female flower. Why this is male? Because it has stamens, and this flower has got, sorry, this is not flower, this is female. Okay, and this flower has got the female part, that is the pistil or carpel. Okay, now the anthers will fall from the male flower to the female flower, but these two are two different flowers which are present on the same plant. So I will say that this is jejunogamy. Now let's suppose that there was a bisexual flower in which both anthers and stigma, anther bhi yahi par hai, stigma bhi yahi par hai, both anthers and stigma are present on the same flower of the same plant, In that case, this is called autogamy. So I can write, if transfer of pollen grain occurs from anther to stigma of the same flower of the same plant, then it is called autogamy. Okay, but if the transfer of pollen takes place from anther to stigma of different flowers of the same plant, but of the same plant, then it is called jejunogamy. Okay, then it's called jejunogamy. And both autogamy and jejunogamy, they are parts of self-pollination. Okay, so what is cross-pollination next? Now once again, transfer of pollen from anther to stigma. Okay, anther to stigma between two different plants. That means anther from one plant will go to the stigma of second plant. So I will need two different plants here. In case of self-pollination, there is a single plant. Okay, but in this case we need different plants. So it occurs between different plants. Okay, and this transfer takes place with the help of some pollinating agents, which are called pollinating agents. Okay, now pollinating agents are of two different types. They can be living or they can be non-living. So if the pollinating agents are living, they are called biotic. So first let's discuss about abiotic, which are non-living. So if the pollinating agents are non-living, they are called abiotic. Abiotic means non-living. Okay, like wind, like water. Okay, wind, water. Similarly, the living component, the living agents are called biotic agents. They are living agents. So living agents comprises of a number of organisms. Let's say by insects, pollination by insects, pollination by bats, yeah, pollination by birds first, birds, then bats, then snails, pollination by birds, bats, snails, insects, birds, ants. Yeah. So these are 5 main categories: insects, birds, bats, snails, ants. Okay. Now each of them have some specific names. Okay. Let's like if I say this abiotic component wind, this is called anemophily. This is called anemophily. Okay. And this water se jo ho raha hai, that is called hydrophily. Pollination by water is called hydrophily. Okay. Anemophily and hydrophily. Okay. This occurs in case of Vallisneria plant. ये plant का नाम Vallisneria. Okay. And ये तो बहुत जगह होता है. I will erase this part. Okay. Anemophily का example पे लिख के रखो palm plant. Okay. Examples. Now insects. So I don't have space here. I will use this part of the board. For insects, the process is called, the pollination which takes place with the help of insects is called entomophily. Okay. The next process is by birds, which is called ornithophily. Okay. Bats, it is called chirapterophily. Okay, chirapterophily. And by snails, it is called malacophily. The last one by ants, it is called myrmecophily. So you can say that ants are insects as well. So why a separate name? Because ants से pollination का rate बहुत ज़्यादा होता है. That's why they have been classified differently. But although इनका नाम अलग है, I can say that myrmecophily is a kind of entomophily. Okay, it's a kind of entomophily. Okay. Please copy करो एक बार. इसको entomo करो. Entomophily. Entomophily. Okay, please copy this part. Please pause the video and copy this part. Okay. Now once we are done with this, we will talk about the next part, which is called pollen compatibility. Now what is pollen compatibility? So pollen compatibility means कि एक flower, suppose there is a flower, suppose एक flower, this is a flower, ऐसा बना दो, ये flower है, ये दूसरा flower, तो इस flower से इस flower में there will be transfer of what? Transfer of pollen. तो pollen आया यहाँ से यहाँ तक, but this flower rejected the pollen. The stigma of this flower rejected the pollen. The reason for this rejection is that both the plants are genetically different. If both the plants are genetically different, then the pollen which has reached here, it will not enter into the stigma. Okay, the reactions will not initiate. What are the reactions? When the pollen reaches the stigma, suppose ये फिर से बना रहा हूँ, यहाँ से pollen यहाँ आया, तो अगर मैं structure बनाऊँ, you will see kind of structures like this. So the pollen reaches here, it lands here, and then there is a reaction between the pollen and stigma. Okay, there are some receptors present on stigma. Receptors present on stigma. Now, receptors के presence होने के वजह से what will happen? This pollen will react with those receptors, and अगर दोनों मतलब pollen का और receptor का matching हो जाता है, matching होने के बाद ही I can say कि ये pollen आगे move कर पाएगा, ठीक है? अगर suppose reaction इसका positive आया, means reaction हो रहा है. Reaction कब होगा? When they are genetically identical. This positivity means they are genetically identical. If both pollen and the receptors are genetically identical, then only the pollen will move into this style part. Okay, and we have discussed this in the earlier classes that pollen moves with the help of pollen tubes. Okay, so pollen moves with the help of pollen tubes. Okay. So inside the pollen tubes, the pollens are present, and these move with the help of pollen tubes into the style. Okay. Now this step is called compatibility. This process is called compatibility. When the pollen grows inside the style, that is called compatibility. I can say that the pollen and the receptors, they are compatible to each other. But in this case, when they were genetically different, suppose ये दूसरा flower है, दोनों का mixing नहीं हो पाएगा, दोनों का genetics अलग अलग है. तो when they are genetically different, then इसका rejection हो जाता है. Then it is called pollen. This is called pollen. This one is called pollen incompatibility. This is called pollen incompatibility. While this process is called pollen compatibility. This is called pollen compatibility. I hope you समझ में आया होगा. Pollen compatibility and pollen incompatibility. Okay. So pollen compatibility बहुत ज़रूरी है for the process to continue. Okay. ये हुआ pollen tube का compatibility incompatibility. Next step. Please copy करो इसको. मैं erase करूँगा. Okay. Next step is about fertilization. One more thing, please write a few points. Pistil and pollen chemical secretions. Pistil and pollen chemical secretions determine the compatibility of pollen grains. Pistil and pollen chemical secretions determine the compatibility of pollen grains. Compatibility of pollen grains. Please make a flow chart and write if the pollen grains are released at two-celled stage. If the pollen grains are released at two-celled stage. Again, we have also discussed about two-celled stage in the previous lecture. If the pollen grains are released at two-celled stage, then the two-cell stage क्या होता है याद करो. two-cell cell में दो cells होते थे. एक होता था vegetative cell और veg cell, और एक होता था generative cell और gen cell. Okay. Then two-cell stage कॉमा देकर या फिर ब्रैकेट में लिख सकते हो the veg cell and gel cell. एक cell, दो cells, two-cell stage. Then the gel cell, then the gen cell, generative cell. Then the gen cell or the generative cell divides. By meiosis to form male gametes. Then the gen cell divides by meiosis to form male gametes, to form two male gametes. तो एक pollen से मुझे क्या मिल रहा है? From one pollen we get two male gametes, and this is true in case of two-celled stage. But apart from this two-celled stage, we also have three-celled stage in some cases. Like we have discussed this, कि in 60% cases two-celled stage are present, but in case of 40% cases क्या होता है वहाँ पर three-celled stage होता है. 40% majority में two-celled होता है. तो नीचे लिखेंगे हम लोग in case of three-celled stage, there are two male gametes already present there are two male gametes already present. तो वहाँ meiosis नहीं होगा फिर से. There are two male gametes already present. Okay. Please change the paragraph. नीचे लिखो. The pollen grains. Please change the paragraph and write. The pollen grains reach the receptive stigma. The pollen grains reach the receptive stigma of the carpel. The pollen grains reach the receptive stigma of the carpel. And the pollen grain germinate, and the pollen grain germinate to produce a pollen tube. The pollen grain germinate to produce a pollen tube, which grows into the stigma, which grows into the stigma, which grows into the stigma towards the micropyle, towards the micropyle. याद करो micropyle एक opening था, micropyle. ये भी लास्ट लेक्चर में हम लोग डिस्कस कर चुके हैं micropyle. It grows towards the micropyle. So I will draw the complete structure now. Please pay attention. This is very important for both boards as well as NEET. And please give a subheading: double fertilization. Double fertilization. Alright, double fertilization. So let's see. एक छोटा सा मैं इमेज बना रहा हूँ. Let's say this is the carpel or pistil, and this is the stigma. This is a pollen tube growing towards this. ये pollen tube है black color में. And here you have the embryo sac, in which you have some cells present. Okay. Now this pollen tube will liberate male gametes. Okay. So I will write. If I say the micropyle is at this end, suppose this micropyle end and ये कौन सा end है, chelacil end. तो this pollen tube will grow towards the micropyle. ठीक है, जब तक micropyle reach नहीं करता तब तक इसका growth चलता रहेगा. So let's draw it. Let me draw it. So this is the pollen tube, suppose, and this is the micropylar end. And this micropyle, यहाँ पे एक structure है. This micropyle, चलो उसकी बात करेंगे. This micropyle के through ये enter कर जाता है और इसके अंदर male gamete. तो I can say इसके अंदर से कितने male gamete निकलेंगे? 2 male gametes. This pollen tube will bring 2 male gametes with it. Okay. Now the 2 male gametes are obviously haploid in nature, right? They are haploid in nature. Now this male gamete will fuse with this. Once again, this is embryo sac. एक बार फिर से मैं repeat कर दूँ सब चीज़. This is embryo sac. These are the antipodal cells which are required for nutrition, and each of the antipodal cells are haploid, n each. Now this is definitive nucleus or secondary nucleus. This is called secondary nucleus. Okay, and I can say this is 2n because n और n fuse कर चुका है. Okay, now this male gamete, suppose यहाँ पे 2 male gamete, and what is this? This complete thing is called the egg apparatus. Egg apparatus, out of which I have 1 egg and 2 synergids. Synergids. These are called synergids. Their function is to provide nutrition to the egg. Okay. Now this egg is again n. This synergid and this synergid again they are n. Everything is n except this. This is 2n because ये already fused कर चुका है. Okay. Next step is this male gamete will go and fuse with this secondary nucleus, while the second male gamete will go and fuse with this egg. Okay, so there are 2 different types of fertilizations. The first fertilization takes place between this secondary nucleus and this male gamete, while the second fertilization takes place between this male gamete and the egg, that is the female gamete. Okay, so there are 2 different types of fertilization. So I can write there are 2 types of fertilization. Number 1 is 2n into n. देखो 2n into n, this is n, again this is n, 2n into n, and second one is n into n. 2n into n and n into n. Now what is 2n into n? This is n in 2n into n is called it results in the formation of. First ये देखो n into n तुमको पता होगा. n into n क्या मिलता है मुझे? This is from the male gamete, this is from the female gamete. It will result in the formation of zygote. Okay. Now this zygote in future will develop into the embryo. The zygote will form the embryo. Okay. Similarly, this 2n and n, when they will fuse together, they will form PEN, pen. पेन क्या है? तो पेन का फुल फॉर्म मैं यहाँ लिख रहा हूँ PEN. पेन का मतलब होता है प्राइमरी एंडोस्पर्म न्यूक्लियस. Primary endosperm nucleus, pen, PEN. Now this pen will mature to form the endosperm later. Just as the zygote matured to form the embryo, this pen will form the endosperm. Now let's look at the ploidy level. Now this is n, they will fuse together and they will form 2n. Okay, this is 2n. Again, this will develop into 2n embryo. Similarly, this 2n and n, when they will fuse together, they will form 2n square, right? They will form 3n. Now this 3n will develop to form 3n. That means the endosperm is triploid in nature. It is triploid, while the zygote is diploid in nature. Okay. Now this endosperm provides nutrition